At the end of this tutorial, you're going to have a drag and drop generator that generates that effect in Davinci Resolve. You can change the speed, the rotation, the color, the drop shadow. We're going to make it customizable from the edit page. So welcome back to Creator Reality, my friend. I'm John, and I'm going to walk you through this step by step from start to finish. And if you're telling me right off the bat, hey, I don't want to do it myself, then there is a link in the video description down below where you can purchase this effect as a DRFX file and install it into your copy of Davinci Resolve and be up and running in a couple of minutes. So without any further ado, let's jump into Davinci Resolve and get started. The first thing we need is a fusion composition. So we're going to go to Effects, Effects, Fusion Composition, and drag it on screen. There it is. Let's go into the Fusion page and get this thing going. So we're going to click on our Fusion icon down here, and by default, you'll see that we have Media Out 1. First thing we're going to start with is a rectangle. Yep, we're using the shape system. So I'm going to click in blank space, Shift Space Bar, S Rect, and S Rectangle comes up. We're going to click Add. Here it is. And for each of these nodes, we want to press the 1 key to put it in the left viewer. If you only see one viewer and there's nothing showing right now, you need to click this icon right here, which changes from 1 viewer to 2. Now we're on 2 viewers. This is how we want it set up. And you'll notice we've got a rectangle right here. With S Rectangle 1 selected, we want to change our width to 0.25. And yeah, that looks great, right? Well, we need corner radius of 1. Now it looks like an oval, doesn't it? We're going to leave height alone at 0.5. And now, with S Rectangle 1 selected, Shift Spacebar and S Trans to get S Transform. Add. Again, I'm going to press the 1 key so you can see what's happening. And we're going to change our Y offset to 0.19. Tab away, it moves it up, that's fine. Next, we want to right-click on Y size, choose Expression, and replace 1.0 with X size. Press Tab, and now they're linked together. So if I change them, they change together. Well, we can double-click on X size now and type in 0.314, Tab, and now we've created the first blade of our buffering animation. But we only have one, so let's duplicate them. With S Transform 1 selected, Shift Spacebar, and we need S Duplicate, S Dupe. There it is. Click Add. Press our 1 key to put it in the left viewer, and let's just change our copies to 9. Nothing happened, that's fine. We need to change our time offset to -5, tab away to set that. We want to make sure our axis mode is set to absolute. We want to come down to Z rotation and double click here and change it to -36. Ta-da, there they go. So what we've done is we've created 9 copies now, and that makes a total of 10. And then we've split them across 360 degrees or 360 degrees, however you want to look at it, and they're all evenly spaced out. We will be changing this later, but for now, this helps us see things as it's going to be. The last change for now is to click the down arrow on Style and change our opacity gain from 1.0 to 0.638, give or take. This gives us some transparency, and you can see that as we go through the duplication, it's going to get more transparent. Now, to get this S Duplicate from the shape system into something that can go to the edit page, because if I try to connect the output of S Duplicate to the input of Media Out 1, nothing happens. Resolve won't let this happen. What we need is to select S Duplicate 1, press Shift Spacebar, and S Render. There it is, S Render right there. Click Add, and now we can drag the output of S Render 1 into Media Out 1, which shows up in the right-hand viewer because its right-hand dot is selected. Cool. There, we're done, right? Not so fast. What we really want to do is put 2 more nodes in between the S Render and Media Out 1. Shift Spacebar, and the first one is going to be a Transform, and then we want to move Media Out 1 over. Click on Transform 1 again, Shift Spacebar, and put in a Drop Shadow. So I type in Drop, select Drop Shadow, and there it is. So now we have a Drop Shadow in our Media Out 1. See, now we're starting to get somewhere, right? Boop the like button. You're learning the shape system today in Davinci Resolve. This right here is phase 1. So I'm going to lasso select all of these, and then I'm going to right click and choose Group. That puts it into a group box. We can press F2 and rename it, and I'm going to call mine CR_buffering_animation. Press Enter, And then we can double click on the group box to open it up. Now we're going to expand it a little bit. And if you need a little bit more room, we can hover over and get this icon and drag up. And then you can use your mouse wheel to scroll up and down. If you go too far, you get the legend right here. So we can make sure we don't see the legend. Everything is visible. Now it's time to go to phase 2 of our operation. First thing we need to do is click on S-Duplicate 1, hold Control, press C, click in blank space, and hold Control-Shift-V to paste an instance of the duplicate. This allows 2 nodes to share all of the same parameters. We are going to be changing one thing later. Don't you worry. I'll be walking you through it. But we're going to need 2 of them because we need a left and a right animation. So now I'm going to move this one up, and I'm going to connect the output of S-Transform 1 into our instance S-Duplicate 1. Now for our transform, we're going to bring that one up, and I'm going to press F2, and I'm going to call it Trans Left, and I'm going to hold Control-C to copy it, click in empty space, Control-V to paste it, rename this one Trans Right, and then I'm going to connect the output of S-Render 1 into Trans Right, and then move it up because I like it to look clean and neat. And here comes the first really cool thing that we can do, and that's adding a switch node to allow us to change from left to right animation. So I'm going to click in blank space, shift space bar, and type in switch, and there's our switch. We'll click add, and then in our config over here, if you don't see this, it's in the inspector. We're going to go to config, and we're going to call them left and right, the inputs there. And when we go back to controls, you can see we have source, left, and right. Now with switch 1 selected, Control C, click in blank space, Control Shift V to create an instance, move things around, and now we have, well, this could get ugly, so let's move these out of the way. And if I highlight over this one here, it says switch 1.right. Well, that's going to be this one right here, this bottom one. And then this one should say left. Okay, so we're going to disconnect the output of S-Duplicate and run it into the left input here, move things around so it's clean, and then the output of switch 1 instance goes into S-Render 1. Now our other switch is over here, Trans Right. We want to go into the right input, so we're going to drag it into this one, which will be right, and this one's going to be left. So we'll disconnect Trans Left and bring it into the left input, and then we'll connect our output from switch 1 to Drop Shadow 1 input. And now everything looks good on the right hand side. This is what you should be looking at this point in the process. Now we have all of our nodes done. We need to go into phase 3 where we create the controls for our edit page generator. And to do that, we're going to click on our group box, which brings it up in the inspector here, and you can right click next to the text and choose Edit Controls. And that brings up this window. The first one we're going to add is speed, so type in speed, press tab, it'll create the ID. Number is good. Our default we want to be 1. Our range is going to be 0 to 1, and allowed is going to be 0 to 1. And then we want to choose a slider control for that, and for center, 0.5. And then we click OK, and you'll see that user has been created here, and we have speed. Remember, anything that you set in these controls over here, when we save this for reuse later, it's going to be set as the default. Don't worry, we can change them between now and then. Next up, we want to right click and choose Edit Controls again because we want to add rotation. So I'll call it rotation, press tab. We're going to skip default and go to range, and it's 0 to 1. And we're going to come down to input control, and then we want to choose combo control. And it can be kind of hard to find, but there's combo control. And we're going to type in left into items and click add. Select everything, type in right, click add, and you'll notice we have left and right in our list. Click OK, and now we have rotation, left and right. So this will determine whether it rotates to the left or to the right, our final animation that is. Now we need to be able to adjust the number of blades, so we're going to right click and edit controls, and we'll type in blades. And then we're going to press tab, and our default is 10, and our range is going to be 1 to 10, allowed is 1 to 10, and this has to be an integer, so we'll select the integer checkbox, and we'll create it as a slider control with the center of 5. Click OK, and there it is, blades. Now for the transparency, we're going to right click and choose Edit Controls, and we're going to call this one Drop Off. So I'm going to add a space in there, but when I press Tab, notice that Resolve has removed the space and we just have Drop Off. This one, the default, we want to be 0.8, and we want it to go from 0 to 1, and you can just use your Tab key to go between the different controls. And we're going to make this a slider control as well. Click OK, and there it is. And you'll notice that for some reason Resolve puts in a funny number. We'll just go in here and type in 0.8, and it'll keep that. And again, that will be the default moving forward. Now we want to do the shadow. So we're going to right click, choose Edit Controls, and we want Shadow Strength. Press Tab, it's a number. Default is 0.5, and we're going to go from 0 to 1. And this is a slider control. We'll click OK. There's our shadow strength. Right click, Edit Controls, Shadow Angle. And again, we want this one to be 37.5. And our range on this one is going to be -180 to 180. So we're going to type that in, and for allowed as well, give it a slider control, and the center should be 0. Click OK, and there it is. Now comes the fun one, the colors. This one can be a little bit confusing, so pay close attention to this. I'm going to right click, choose Edit Controls, and I'm going to type in Color, Tab, it becomes, yep, an ID there. And then our range is 0 to 1, and we're going to scroll down in the input controls until we see Color Control. It can be really hard to find. There it is, Color Control. New group is fine, red is fine, HSV is fine, show wheel. Check that one, click OK. You'll notice that we have some additional things here. We're going to right click, choose Edit Controls, and we want to type in Color Green and press Tab. Again, it's 0 to 1, 0 to 1, and then we're going to choose Color Control again. And this time we want to drop down the group box and choose 1 so that it's in the same group as the red control we already added. We're going to change red to green, check Show Wheel, and click OK. It added it. Let's right click, Edit Controls, you guessed it, Color Blue this time. And we're going to go 0 to 1, 0 to 1, and then we're going to select Color Control. We're going to select our group 1 again, blue, and Show Wheel. Click OK, and now we've got a true color picker. How cool is that? Pretty slick, right? Now the final part of this phase is to make it all work. So we're going to attach all of the controls that we just added to all of the nodes in our node tree. And for anything that needs an expression, if it's more than one word basically, I will leave it on screen above me, and I'll put it in the video description as well so you can copy and paste. So let's start by going to S Rectangle 1. We're going to go over to Style, and we're going to right click on red, choose Expression, replace 1.0 with Color. Do the same thing for green, except we're going to type in Color Green, and the same thing for blue, except we're going to type in Color Blue. And it's black. That's great. Let's go click on our group box, click on our color picker, choose white, and voila, we now have a white animation. Now we want to go to this S Duplicate 1, and this is going to be our left animation. We want to right click on Copies, choose Expression, and replace 9 with Blades -1. Then we're going to right click on Z Rotation, choose Expression, and replace -36.0 with -360 divided by Copies +1. Click away. We're good. If you see any kind of red in here in these node names or text, you have an issue and you need to go back and follow the steps again and fix it. Going back to our S Duplicate 1 opacity gain, we're going to right click, choose Expression, replace 0.638 with this expression, drop off divided by 10 times blades. And that gives us the last blade is mostly transparent. Now we can go to our instance of S Duplicate, which if you recall is connected to the right input of our instance switch. And we want to change this Z rotation. So I'm going to right click on Z rotation and choose de-instance. Notice all these are green because this is an instance, except for this one where it has no outline because it's not instanced, it's separate. So I'm going to go to the start and remove the minus, and that's going to create our right animation. Now we can go to switch 1, and we're going to right click on source, choose expression, and replace that with rotation. Ta-da, there it is. And if you click on instance switch 1, you'll notice that it now has the same expression for source. Now let's click on trans left, and here comes the most complicated expression in this one. It took me a couple of hours of playing in Microsoft Excel to get this one just right, but this is going to do the actual rotation that you see on screen. And for this, we want the angle. We're going to right click, choose expression, and you're going to paste in the expression you see above me and in the video description, and nothing's going to happen. Perfect. Now we want to go to trans right, and we're going to right click on angle, choose expression. We're going to paste in the same thing and then press the home key to go to the start and add a minus at the beginning. That sets up the left and right animations. We just have a couple of more to do, so let's click on drop shadow 1, and we're going to right click on shadow strength, choose expression, replace 0.5 with shadow strength, and drop angle. We're going to right click, choose expression, and change that one to shadow angle. And at this point, everything should be working well. We can click on our group box. We can change the rotation from left to right, and you'll notice that it flip-flops, so we know it's going to work. And you can even scrub through the footage and notice it's rotating to the right. And then if I change this to left, it's rotating to the left. We can now change the color if you want. You can click on that. That works. The drop-off, you notice it's more severe or less severe, depending on where you're at. You can get full, I don't know why you do this, it wouldn't actually show anything different, but this will work just fine, and you can double click it and it goes to 0.08, so we'll just do 0.8 there. You can change the number of blades, and it keeps the same amount of transparency-ish. If it doesn't, you can change the drop-off a little bit, and it'll bring it back up, but we can double click on that, it goes to 10, and bring this, click on this dot, it goes to 0.8. Now we're set up, and I want default to be to the right, and I want it to default to white, and the speed. So if I go to the start of the clip and I press my space bar, it's playing pretty quickly. For me, I want the speed to be about 0.25 rather. Now it's nice and slow, and there it goes. Pretty slick, right? Let's save this for reuse now. So I'm going to right click on my group box, go to settings, save as, and we're in this Support Fusion Settings folder. We're going to go up one folder, scroll down to Templates, go into Templates, and you should have an Edit folder here. If you don't, use your New Folder button to create one. I'm going to go in. We have Effects, Generators, Titles, and Transitions. If you don't have any of these, you can create these now, but the one we want to go into is Generators. So I'm going to go into Generators, and I've got a Creator Reality folder here. You may not. You may just have blank space. You can store it here or create a folder to keep your own personal effects organized. In my case, I'm going to go into Creator Reality, and you'll see I've got buffering animation already there. So I'm going to add _demo to this, and whatever file name you select here and enter is going to show up in Davinci Resolve. So once you've entered your file name, click Save, and nothing happens. Perfect. Let's go back to the Edit page, where you should now be able to go into Effects, Generators, and you can scroll through here, or you can use the magnifying glass to type in whatever you had entered before. And in my case, I started with CR. There's our demo, and boom, I dropped it into my timeline, and look at that. If I click on it and go to Generator, User, it's got my speed, rotation, blades, drop off, shadow strength, shadow angle, and the color. Now if I pick this up, I can pull in a piece of footage, and as I play it back, you can see it rotates over there. It's transparent in the background there. And if I click on my effect, I can come over to Settings. I can change it so it's smaller. If we click on this icon here, it gives us the transform overlay. We can put it right on my face and then play through it. I'm thinking as I ride along. And we're done. Again, if you didn't want to spend the last 20 minutes working with me to do this, you could just go buy it with the link in the video description below. But if you did follow at home, drop me a comment below. Let me know how easy or difficult this was. Anything that I might have said that was confusing. I'm always looking to improve. But I do appreciate you watching today, and I do appreciate the likes and the comments and the subscriptions if you feel so inclined as to subscribe to my channel. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. Until next time, check out this video over here. It's one of mine. You'll learn something there, and I'll see you there. John out.